Want to speak real Chinese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ChineseClass101.com.
Welcome to Can Do Chinese by ChineseClass101.com.
大家好，我是李英如。Hi everyone, I'm Yinru Li. In this lesson, you will learn how to greet someone at different times of the day.
This is Lin Li, the Li family's Chinese teacher. Her schedule for the day is Mark Li at 9 a.m., Karen Li at 12 p.m., Ben Li at 6 p.m. Listen to the greeting exchange between the three pairs. Pay attention to the time of day.
李老师，早上好。
早上好。
你好，李老师。
你好，凯伦。
晚上好，李老师。
晚上好，本。
Once more with the English translation.
李老师，早上好。
Miss Li, good morning.
早上好。
Good morning.
你好，李老师。
Hello, Miss Li.
你好，凯伦。
Hello, Karen.
晚上好，李老师。
Good evening, Miss Li.
晚上好，本。
Good evening, Ben.
Let's take a closer look at each of these expressions.
In the first conversation, do you remember how Mark says, Miss Li, good morning?
李老师，早上好。
First, Mark addresses his teacher.
李老师。
This starts with the teacher's family name, Li.
李
After this is,
老师
literally, teacher. But here it's used as a suffix.
老师
Together,
李老师
literally Li teacher, but it translates as Miss Li in this context.
李老师
Note, when
老师
is used as a suffix, the meaning will depend on the context. The next part of the greeting is
早上好
good morning.
早上好
First is
早上
morning. To be more specific, early morning, which is roughly the time between sunrise to 10 o'clock.
早上
Next is
好
good.
好
Together,
早上好
good morning.
早上好
Altogether,
李老师早上好
Miss Li, good morning.
李老师，早上好。
Do you remember the teacher's response? Good morning.
早上好。
She simply repeats the same greeting.
早上好
Good morning.
早上好
Since teachers in Chinese culture have a higher social status, it's not necessary for them to address their students when greeting them. In the second conversation, which takes place at noon, do you remember how Karen says, "Hello, Miss Lee"?
你好，李老师。
First is
你好，
hello.
你好，
There are two parts. First is
你，
you.
你，你，
Next is
好，
good.
好，好，
Together
你好，
literally means you good, but translates as hello.
你好，
Pronunciation note. When there are two third tones in a row, the first one changes to the second tone. Listen to the pronunciation again.
你好，你好，
This pronunciation change is not reflected in the pinyin, as you will still see two third tones. Note,
你好，
can be used during any time of the day, even at night. In addition,
你好，
can be used in formal settings. Next is
李老师，
Miss Lee in this context.
李老师，
Together,
你好，李老师，
hello, Miss Lee.
你好，李老师。
Now, do you remember how the teacher responds? Hello, Karen.
你好，凯伦。
This starts with the phrase
你好，
hello.
你好，你好，
Next is Karen's name in Chinese.
凯伦，凯伦，凯伦，
Altogether,
你好，凯伦，
hello, Karen.
你好，凯伦。
In the third conversation, which takes place in the evening at 6 p.m., do you remember how Ben says, "Good evening, Miss Lee"?
晚上好，李老师。
First is
晚上好，
good evening.
晚上好，
The first part is
晚上，
evening or night.
晚上，晚上，
Next is
好，
good.
好，
Together,
晚上好，
good evening.
晚上好，
Then Ben addresses the teacher as
李老师，
Miss Lee.
李老师，
Altogether,
晚上好，李老师，
good evening, Miss Lee.
晚上好，李老师。
Note, in Chinese, a person's name or title can be placed either before or after the greetings. So it could be either
晚上好，李老师，
or
李老师，晚上好。
Do you remember how the teacher responds? Good evening, Ben.
晚上好，本。
First is
晚上好，
good evening.
晚上好，
This is the same as Ben's greeting. Next is Ben's name in Chinese.
本，本，本，
晚上好，本。
In Chinese greetings, 好 Good follows the time of the day, as in 早上好, good morning. 好 also follow a title, as in 老师好, teacher hello, or follow a name and title, such as 李老师好, Miss Li, hello. A title followed by 好 or name and title followed by 好 is often used to greet someone with a higher social status than the speaker, such as a teacher, supervisor, or a senior family member. This pattern sounds more polite and personal than 你好. Let's look at the greetings once more. Listen and repeat or speak along with me. 早上好，早上好。你好，你好。晚上好，晚上好。你好，李老师。你好，李老师。早，早。Did you notice how I used the shortened version of good morning? Zao,
Morning.
早，早，早，
is a shortened and more casual way to say
早上好。
good morning. You should be aware of this shortened greeting, but you won't need it for this lesson.
Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say good morning? 早上好，早上好。
And how Mark says, Miss Lee, good morning.
李老师，早上好。
李老师，早上好。Do you remember how to say hello? 你好，你好。
And do you remember how Karen says, Hello, Miss Lee?
你好，李老师。
你好，李老师。Do you remember how to say good evening? 晚上好，晚上好。
And do you remember how Ben Lee says, Good evening, Miss Lee?
晚上好，李老师。
晚上好，李老师。
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben, and you're in morning class. Respond by saying, Miss Lee, good morning. Ready?
本，早上好。
李老师，早上好。
Listen again and repeat.
李老师，早上好。李老师，早上好。
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mark, and you're in afternoon class. Respond by saying, Hello, Miss Lee. Ready?
你好，
你好，李老师。
Listen again and repeat.
你好，李老师。 你好，李老师。
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Karen and you meet your neighbor. Respond by saying, Good evening. Ready?
晚上好，开伦。
晚上好，
Listen again and repeat.
晚上好，晚上好。
This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. Each lesson brings you closer to natural, fluent Chinese. Want to learn to speak even more Chinese the fast, fun, and easy way? Then sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. Sign up in seconds. Access hundreds of audio and video lessons, and start speaking like a native speaker.
Now you know how to use basic greetings in Chinese. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.